Hi, everybody. I want to go over week 7 assignments with you to explain them in a little more detail. This week, it's even more important than ever that you watch this video because of some problems with one of the assignments. So here we go. You may want to look at my feedback on your paraphrasing assignment from last week, just to make sure you know properly how to cite your information when you're paraphrasing. This will be a skill that you'll use on future essays. The second item is to do some reading. This is very important. So you're going to review Finding Quality Text, the CRAP test, and there are links here to learn about 3 different library databases. Please view all 3 of these tutorials. This week's assignment is for you to choose one of these databases, either Credo, SIRS, or Ebscohost, and explore it. And the way you're going to do that is by completing a worksheet. So let's look at how you find that worksheet and how you find the one that you want to do. So there's a link here that takes you to the assignment, which you can also find in Unit 2, Assignments and Submissions. You can read the task. There's another video here if you'd like to watch that one as well. And then you can see the steps in this process. So I have already assigned a reading for this unit. In our case, that's An Epidemic of Loneliness. That's reading 2 or R2. What you're going to do is choose one of the databases, and in that database, you are going to find another article that is on the same topic. So, An Epidemic of Loneliness, something that deals with loneliness and how it's a continuing problem or a more prevalent problem today. So, here are the worksheets that you can use. Now, remember, you're only choosing one. Credo, SIRS, or Ebscohost. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Here is where you'll locate that worksheet. So for example, if I click on Credo, there will be a Word document that will ask you to go through various activities. So simply read the instructions, and while you're reading them, you're going to be actually doing within the Credo database. And so you'll be going through and answering these questions. Please be thorough in your answers. Don't leave anything blank. And then it tells you to click on several related words and skim several articles. The other database worksheets do something similar. The problem that we have with this assignment is that the article on loneliness, to find another article, you aren't really going to be able to do it the way it's described in your worksheet. So go ahead and do the activities, do whatever it says, but when it's time to find your article, the way you're going to do that is through the search bar in your database. So let me kind of go back here. So again, you'll know how to enter these databases as you read these tutorials, but I'm just going to go quickly to, we'll go to Credo. So instead of doing what it says on the worksheet, which is to put in a topic and then look at a web and go into the web, you are simply going to use the search bar. So you're going to put in here loneliness, and then you'll see lots of articles here. Find one that passes the CRAP test, that works with the article that you read, The Epidemic of Loneliness. So don't just pick the first thing that comes up. Make sure it's recent and all of that good stuff. Okay, but you're not going to go into these associated headings and find it that way. The same thing is true with all of them. So when you go to SIRS, it's going to ask you to explore it, and you need to do those activities. But it's going to have you go to leading issues. The one that would be most appropriate for loneliness is drugs, health, and wellness. And then it's going to have you look at these subtopics and choose one of those. Well, you're not going to find loneliness here. So please do the activity and list what it says to do. But when you're actually finding the article, please just use the search bar and type in loneliness. Then you'll see lots of articles. Many of them won't be relevant, but you find one that is. And that's recent, that will work if you wanted to use it in connection with the reading I assigned. And finally, the same thing is true with Ebscohost. It'll ask you about all these different databases. I would recommend for Ebscohost that you actually use master file. It's a little hard in Ebscohost to find an article that's not too technical. Make sure you click full text and then write in your loneliness. And you may find other words can work for you as well. You can start looking here. We don't want something that is more than 6 or 7 pages. So 11 pages, no. 10 pages, no. And that is part of the problem that I found in Ebscohost, that sometimes they're either way too long or way too short. So you can search using that search bar. You may want to restrict it a little bit here to loneliness, just stick with loneliness, to reduce the number of articles that you need to look through. So again, it's an exploration activity. So part of it is just sort of hit and miss. But I did want to say that when you are in the actual worksheet, let me go back to the Credo one, sometimes those instructions aren't going to work well for you to find the article. So use the search bar and look for something that will work. Once you do that, then you can do the rest of the assignment based on the article that you found. So it's going to ask you to copy the reference, and again, whichever database you are in, you find it a different way. You're going to print the reference and then modify it a little bit, and then all of them do the same thing at the end, which is to apply the crack test to the article that you found. Please give complete answers for every box. Even if you don't really need to answer it, say not applicable or article was not that old or whatever is appropriate. But if you leave something blank, that would cost you points. So be thorough and answer all of those questions. Okay, when you're all done with that worksheet, then you'll submit that, and the link is here where you can scroll down and submit it before the due date at the end of the week. So again, you're basically just filling out this worksheet, but remember along the way, you're also finding an article, and using the search bar in each database is the best way to go, because we're looking for loneliness. It's just a little different than maybe some other topics. If you have any questions, please contact me and I'll try to help you out. Have a good week.